said I was gonna go in, but here we are once again. You know me. I wish that I could do half of what I say I'm gonna do. But I think that we all live inside our head to some extent. But my extent is pretty magnanimous. Case in point, for 30 years I fantasized about being on stage, and I was just too scared. And then eventually, when I mustered up the courage to do what I always envisioned, I knew exactly why I'd been running from it. 'Cause for the first time I felt legit. For the first time I felt like people actually gave a shit. For the first time I felt like I was on it. But I feel way more like that with you. You think I thrive on the internet, but that's not something that I'm willing to do. You know, John Hickok told me that the only reason I'm not famous is because I don't want to be. And he's absolutely right. If you're famous, they're gonna sacrifice your ass or somebody that you care about. If you're famous, well, that's pretty fucking lame-ass. Why do you need to be famous to know that you're important? That's the caste system. And they have to implement something that makes everybody think eventually they could achieve greatness. And you can say that that's an extension of capitalism. I mean, Hollywood is the epitome of capitalism and why it should be destroyed. I just think that we should attempt to employ a better philosophy. Why does it have to be one of the three that aren't good and don't make anybody happy? Not that the point is to be happy, but I really don't want to be a slave. And I know that in pretty much every philosophy you're going to be in some form or fashion, but, you know, let's go back to the drawing board, wouldn't you say? Why is everybody so reluctant to just think about it more? Think about it more. Think about it more. I want that so badly for everybody. Already have it. I want somebody aside from me to get it, get it. I don't wanna have all the fun. I know that I gotta be creating for everyone. to believe. Now I'm singing good, am I not? Sorry. I don't even know what I was gonna sing. I find it hard to believe. What the fuck was that? I don't know, man. I need to go to sleep, but... Oh. I was probably gonna bitch about how people are like... They're so, like, convinced that... Oh, we need this guy in office, or we need these people in Congress, and it's like, dude... This whole system... I'm trying to, like, find, like, a good metaphor to compare it to, you know, like, all the holy water in the world could not bless this system, okay? Let's try not to swear from now on. See how long that lasts, okay? Let's try not to swear for the rest of this video. How about that? Small steps. Little baby steps. Little zygote steps, okay? We need more holy water for that. Okay? But anyway. It's like everybody is so plugged in to this little, like, portable television that's always, like, talking to them. And so it's like, even if maybe, like, you don't have your phone on, or, like, your phone's not with you, or, like, what if it's in the other room? It's usually not the case. They always have it on them. But let's pretend that these people are trying to be good, okay? Let's pretend. But it's like... all the anxiety that stems from, like, having that phone, and just knowing that there's that TV there that you can talk to, and it talks back, you know? Like, why wouldn't you have it on you all the time? But, I don't know, it makes me sad that this is the reality that people have chosen. But it's like, you know, I hear, like, all the Zoomers complaining about boomers. That's funny, because y'all rhyme. Y'all rhyme, and y'all are stupid. Everybody's stupid. Like, I think all generations are stupid. My generation, I thought my generation was the stupidest, but I really don't know. Millennials are really fucking dumb. See? Already fucked up. Started talking about my generation, and, you know... Fuck my generation. Anyway, I had hope for the Zoomers, but it seems like they're just so caught up in the technology that I feel like they can't see that there could possibly be a solution outside of that. They think that it's impossible to live without it. And they say that, but it's like, dude, like, how much are you going to put up with? Like, you will be that slave that you talk about. I mean, you already are. You're a slave to your phone. You're a slave to your social media handles. You're a slave to the amount of likes that you get. You're a slave to, you know, retweets or whatever. And so many people, they say that they're not, but they're on the site all the time, you know? See, as an outsider, one of the cool things is, like, being able to spy. So, I feel like a detective. Like, I'm just inspecting the case of the world. And I'm always, like, looking for clues as to why this world is so messed up. And luckily, you know, with social networks, like, they just leave a really good bunny trail, you know? everything that you see on the internet, it's like they can't wait to showcase just how typical they are. And that is so disheartening to just realize that about the people that you live amongst. They're like, this is what they choose to do all day, and this is where they place their importance. A balloon. You guys, balloon. China's spying on it. China's been spying on it. They don't even have to try. We give China the fucking binoculars, dude. Are you kidding me? That's good. You should write that down. Everything is made in China. Right? Don't you love those sweatshops? You know, what would you do without sweatshops? I mean, the Industrial Revolution, man, it's destroyed everything. Like all this stuff that people talk about in relation to slavery. I wonder if maybe that's what Karl Marx was really talking about. Was how, like, the industries are oh Lord. What, are you going to apply the Communist Manifesto to strictly industries? Yes, because I'm sure I'd agree with it wholeheartedly. Yeah. There's this thing back in the 60s. People that dropped acid and wrote the Communist Manifesto, they called themselves acid communists or psychedelic socialists because they thought that the only way to truly understand Marxism was to be on drugs. So I was saying that, like, I was going to do that, but I'm like, you don't need to. You're already schizophrenic. So, like, you're on all the drugs all the time. So, like, you should just reread the Communist Manifesto. It's a hard thing to read, though. I feel like he made it wordy. He made it so wordy for a reason, you know? Because, like, the more wordy something is, the more complicated it gets. Like, it seems like the less people question it. Because, for whatever reason, like, they want things to be complicated. Whereas, like, wise people just want it to remain simple. Because we know that complications are not a good thing. You know, like, I understand that there are some things that are complicated. Gender is not complicated. You just look down. That's it. You look down and you go, okay, these are the parts. Just because you don't fit a particular mold, like say you're not super masculine or say you're not super feminine, that doesn't mean that you're bad, and that doesn't mean that you need to cut your genitals off. That's fucking stupid. If you actually believe that, well, there's no point in me telling you to kill yourself because you're essentially already doing that. But, like, oh my goodness. Well, this video is gonna get taken down. I don't know. People can say it's hateful or whatever, but the thing is, the reason why people can't cancel me is because I either say it in such a way that they can't detect it, or, I mean, the way that I do things is so counterculture, you know? So you really do have to go against the grain in order to get away with what you want to get away with. Because that's what I keep saying about all these people that think they're so transgressive. If you were actually transgressive, you wouldn't be getting in so much trouble right now because you figure out a way around it. Dummy. Anyway. I feel like there's always a way to say something. And if you're artistic, it's like the right people will get with it, and the wrong people will either fall by the wayside or they won't have any idea what you're talking about anyway, you know? I've had to dumb everything down. The audience is always stupid. they're typically politically correct, they're typically woke. Okay, not really woke, like, I'm alive and awake and totally caffeinated, but, you know, woke. Like, anything that's politically correct, they go along with it. It doesn't matter how silly it is, doesn't matter how stupid it is, it doesn't matter how self-destructive it is, how it does the opposite of what people say. You know, like, a good example of that is probably the trans stuff. Where they're saying, like, oh, if you don't accept that your 7-year-old is not what he was born as, you know? And I know you gave birth to him and everything, and you saw his little pecker when he came out of your fucking womb, but no, he's convinced, at 7 years old, he's convinced that he doesn't have that little pecker because he goes to a public school, because mommy's not a very good mommy, okay, and she puts him in a public school, and now he's convinced of this horse shit because of his fucking leftist lunatic teacher. So I forgot what my point was. Oh, no, you're talking about just how easy it is to, like, brainwash people to be politically correct, and oh yeah, they're all gonna kill themselves, right? Yeah, so people are saying that, like, oh, it started with all the gay shit, but, like, bullying. You know, people think that being bullied's, like, the worst thing ever. Being bullied's great, dude. Like, that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm actually really glad that people continue to bully me. They bully me because I don't have a smartphone. They bully me because I'm a Christian now. And I'm sure that I'm going to get bullied by Catholics, you know, because I'm Orthodox. Or Protestants will try to bully me, which is dumb, but whatever. I'll take it from Catholics because I can bully them right back. But, like, Protestants, that's not going to work. But just all kinds of people over the years have mocked me for just being weird and things that they don't understand, you know? Like, they really hate the fuck out of God. They hate anything that's not terrible. It's terrible, they love it, they promote it, they encourage it, you know? But yeah, like, when they say, like, oh, if you don't accept that your kid is this thing that they think they are because they're brainwashed by the government or the culture or the school system, you know, like, oh, well, they're gonna commit suicide. Like, literally the opposite is true, y'all. And if all these people, all these kids, they transition into whatever, and then they detransition her, and then what's gonna happen if they don't kill themselves? They're gonna kill a bunch of people, man. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. This friend of mine studies serial killers, and he was telling me that, like, practically all of them have some sort of gender identity issue. Isn't that comforting?